We're back for your ears only. I'm David Alpern with a quote from last week's news. Honda was aware of the problem this should never have happened. That was Jennifer Griffin, whose exploding Civic airbag was among at least 140 made by the Takata company that have caused death or injury and led 11 car makers to recall more than 14 million vehicles, 5 times the number recalled this year by GM for potentially fatal ignition switches. Now, a January 1st, 1989 Newsweek On Air segment with co-host Warren Levinson of Associated Press.
Ray, do you know how much the square root of 2,130 is?
46.15192304. 2304.
Yeah, that is amazing. He should work for NASA. If you had $1 and you spent 50 cents, how much money would you have left?
About 70.
70 cents?
70 cents.
A scene from the season's #1 box office hit Rain Man.
As autistic savant Raymond Babbitt, actor Dustin Hoffman provides an extraordinary depiction of amazing talents, severe limitations, and essential humanity.
The film also dramatizes the developing humanity of Raymond's brother Charlie, played by actor Tom Cruise, in what may be his best work to date.
Rain Man took 2 years, 4 directors, 6 writers, and at least 8 producers to get to your local theater, but its unpredictable success demonstrates how artistic commitment, largely Hoffman's, can triumph over all the hurdles Hollywood has to offer and produce a film that is medically accurate, emotionally irresistible, and commercially awesome. The Christmas film that just might save financially troubled MGM United artists.
To discuss the making and the meaning of Rain Man, we're delighted to have Dustin Hoffman and Dr. Bernard Rimland of the Institute for Child Behavior Research in San Diego. Dr. Rimland is one of the nation's foremost authorities on autism and one of several medical consultants for the film. Dustin Hoffman, you were first offered the role of Charlie, the normal brother, but you were drawn to the role of Raymond, the autistic savant. Why is that?
I think the reason is because, by coincidence, by the way, hi, Bernie. By coincidence, when I got the script, I had seen a 60 Minutes about 3 or 4 weeks before on autistic savants, and it really moved me. In fact, I had asked to get a tape of it and had watched it again. And so when I read the script, it was suddenly there was a savant on the page.
So this is total coincidence.
Yes. However, it was written as a retarded person and not as autistic. So I just started to become interested in autism at that point, and I knew nothing about it. And I realized that nothing had been seen about it. I don't think it had ever been put on the screen, although I was told there was someone, I think, on a St. Elsewhere.
You did a lot of reading and personal observation of people with mental disabilities, actually meeting a pair of brothers, one normal, one not. Tell us a little about them and what you drew from these experiences.
Well, I just talked to one of them yesterday. They become friends. One of the things I found was that, and also with Dr. Rimland's son as well, and a couple of others, Joe Sullivan and David Parsons, also Kim Peek, who the first writer originally based it on. With all of these people, there's a feeling that you get when you meet them and spend time with them, which is different from other mental disabilities, and that is that they appear quite normal. And if you just saw them on the street or sat in a restaurant or wherever, you wouldn't be able to see anything different. And then when they start talking and interacting with you, it's then that you begin to see the disability.
I gather you were able to shoot this movie in normal sequence, letting the characters and to some extent even the scenes change, develop naturally, even to the point of having several possible endings, happier endings with closer contact and communication between the brothers. Why did you avoid them in the end?
Well, that's the director. That's Barry Levinson, who I think did a wonderful job and was quite brave, who really deserves the credit for certainly the way the film is mounted, and also the essential message that it sends across, and that is that it's possible to he was hoping that it would be possible to feel moved by this person and by these brothers without cheating. It was very important to Barry, as it was to me and Tom Cruise, because we had met with Dr. Rimland and a lot of other people, not to let them down, because you could see the skepticism in their eyes. They said, Hollywood is going to do a film about this, and that they were going to go see another movie about mental illness, which was, sentimentalized and somehow trivialized. And we felt if we could get and somehow that there was no other ending. Barry felt you couldn't. I mean, there just couldn't be any other ending.
There couldn't be a magical cure.
Well, that's funny you say that, because when you asked me, I think the first question you asked me, you said, is how did it feel to meet these people? The strongest feeling that we all had as you talk to these people, as you interact with people who are, and certainly these are high-functioning autistics, which are maybe 1% or whatever of the autistic population, this is as good as it gets, that you feel that if you say the right thing, if you kiss them, if you hold them, and you keep wanting to do these kind of affectionate things, that it will somehow be like a magic wand, and sometimes it will just go away. And I think that's the most difficult, painful thing for a parent or a loved one to live with these people, because I don't think that feeling ever goes away. And we felt, wouldn't it be wonderful if the audience felt that? And somehow I guess that is the wish of the audience, is that somehow that magic one will happen at the end, but it just isn't the truth. Maybe in the sequel, and I mean in the sequel of research, really research being done with autism.
In the sequel on this segment, we'll turn from Dustin Hoffman to Dr. Bernard Rimland of the Institute for Child Behavior Research in San Diego.
Dustin Hoffman's office recently received a letter from an autistic 12-year-old. It said in part, "I love you. You played me on Rain Man. Rain Man is good. People say autism is okay. I'm free now. This is good, Rain Man." Do you think many autistic persons would get that sense of support from this film?
Probably the most striking characteristic of autism is their failure to be able to empathize or put themselves in the place of other people. They cannot understand other people.
Well, the lesson may be lost on them, but I think the lesson of this movie is that it's not lost on the rest of us, and I think in the end that may do some good for all concerned. Thank you very much. We've been talking about autism and the box office hit About It, Rain Man. On the line, Dr. Bernard Rimland of the Institute for Child Behavior Research in San Diego, and Rain Man star Dustin Hoffman. From our January 1st, 1989 Newsweek on Air, Dr. Rimland died in 2006 after leading the switch away from earlier notions that autism was triggered by emotional trauma or mistreatment. Next, Nora's Neck, another Ephronalysis of aging, for your ears only.